Breaking news out of Major League Baseball, where the 3,000 hit club has its 33rd member. Tiger slugger Miguel Cabrera reached the milestone with a first inning single to right field in the Tigers game against the Rockies early Saturday afternoon. He's the seventh player all time to have a combined 3,000 hits with 500 home runs. And it's another notch in his Hall of Fame resume. He's an 11-time All-Star, 4-time batting champion, 2-time MVP, and he won the AL Triple Crown back in 2012. And for reaction to the milestone, let's now bring in the former MLB executive, Jim Bowden. Jim, we've been waiting a few days for it to happen, and it has finally happened. The 3,000 hit club has its 33rd member.
Yeah, and it's Miguel Cabrera, who also becomes only the third player in baseball history to have 3,000 hits with 500 home runs and a batting average career over 300. The only other two to do it, Hank Aaron and Willie Mays. What a career for Miguel Cabrera. I feel like it was yesterday, and yet it was 19 years ago that he made his debut with the Florida Marlins. And what a career it has been. 11 All-Star games, 7 Silver Sluggers, 2 MVP awards, and oh, by the way, finishing in the top 5 in MVP 7 different times. 10 years in his career, he hit 30 or more home runs, and he's made a total of $368.4 million. But to get to 3,000 hits, incredible accomplishment. He and Albert Pujols, the only two active players with 3,000 hits. And when you want to look and see who the next player is that might get 3,000 hits, well, it's a decade away. Maybe Mike Trout gets there. Possibly Jose Altuve gets there. But this is not an accomplishment you see very often. Unbelievable what we were able to witness today. And you know, when he hit number 1,000, it was a home run. When he hit 2,000, it was a home run. But I think it's fitting on 3,000 that it was a line drive the other way, because I always felt that Miguel Cabrera was a hitter first and a power hitter second. And he showed that off. An emotional day. I was so happy that his family was there on the field to give him a hug. He got emotional. But Jeremy, this is one of those milestones in baseball history that we all have to stop, enjoy, and honor. What a great privilege it's been for all of us to watch the career of Miguel Cabrera.
And especially, as you said, Jim, because it's something we may not see a 34th member added to this club for a very long time. Between 2011 and 2022, I think we've seen 6 or 7 players added to this list, but now it's going to be a significant amount of time based on the numbers that we're seeing already. So when you look at the list of 3,000 hitters and the 3,000/500 club, it's some of the all-time greats. Where does Cabrera sit on this list?
It certainly is. Yeah, it certainly is. And I think the other thing to keep in mind is he's the only player now in baseball history with 3,000 hits, 500 home runs, and a Triple Crown. Nobody has ever done that before, and I think we all need to understand that when you're joining this group of players, the Hank Aarons and the Willie Mayses, that's the level of player that Miguel Cabrera is offensively. He was an absolute dominant offensive player his whole career. And the other thing I've always loved about Miguel Cabrera is he's always been very humble. All those years that I got to cover him, the 16 years I was a GM, Miguel Cabrera would always come up, say hello to me, talk baseball with me. And the one thing that really stood out to me is he always just talked about winning. That's all he wanted to do. I never had a conversation with him where he would talk about his individual accomplishments. What he cared about was his team winning and how to win baseball games. And, I know in this day and age, people don't respect the RBI like when Miguel Cabrera was coming up. But the fact of the matter is, he's the player you want at the plate when you got a driver run in against the pitcher with a nasty slider with the game tied and 2 outs in the 9th inning. And remember this, 1,807 RBIs is what he has so far in his career, and he's not yet done, Jeremy.
How significant is it, Jim, that he accomplished this feat as a member of the Detroit Tigers?
Yeah, I think it's great. He didn't spend his whole career there. He was obviously a Florida Marlin from 2003 to 2008, and now will finish his career with the Tigers, and will go to the Hall of Fame there. But to your point, you're right. There's been a lot of star players in the game that don't get to finish with the team where they did most of their damage, and Miggy obviously signed that long-term deal with Detroit. The Ilitch family committed to him through age 40, and so he had the honor and the opportunity that a lot of players don't get in this day and age to be able to spend most of his career there. In fact, 14 years.
Jim, it's great to have you along as we see this milestone for Miguel Cabrera. Obviously, someone who's watched him play for a very long time. Obviously, you're very excited, a little bit emotional about it. It's great to have you with us for him as he hits this milestone. Two other 3,000 hitters, by the way, for the Tigers, and Al Kaline and Ty Cobb, and Cabrera joins that club in terms of the club mark.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.